Now, the International Monetary Fund says Nigerians are getting poorer and comprehensive economic reforms are urgently needed to fix the problems.
Although IMF says outlook for growth has improved, the climate still remains challenging. It warns that coherent economic policies must not be delayed.
Well, while the Central Bank of Nigeria has been injecting money into the forex market to ease pressure on the naira, the IMF reiterates that Nigeria needs to simplify its complex foreign exchange system. Of course, we still have Dr. Dan Ekere with us in the studio to talk more about that. I know you've said it so many times on this platform, really, that yes, they say Nigeria has come out of recession. Government is patting itself on the back for doing so many things right on the part of the economy. But does it translate to better food on the table of Nigerians?
Yes,
and IMF is saying the same thing.
Certainly. You see, that is the problem with economics, you know, because professional economists will give you all manner of data, all manner of, analysis of indexes and the rest of it about some of these things. We talk about so much money now Nigeria has moved up in terms of its foreign reserves. I thought that should be a boost to the economy, as that will help in terms of stabilizing the dollar exchange, because it will to a large extent affect your strength or bargaining strength. Then we have talked about coming out of recession. There is ease of doing business. And the central bank is strategizing.
The stock exchange is one of the most traded markets in the world.
Now, in all of that, I keep wondering whether the condition of the average Nigerian has improved. You know, so this is where the challenge really, and interestingly now the IMF is saying that we are getting poorer. I don't understand whether it is a country that is getting poorer in terms of resources it is raking or generating, whether it's a function of the per capita income of the average Nigerian, or the standard of living. If it is about the standard of living, obviously that has always been a trend. You know, so many people get poorer, you know, get pauperized, impoverished, and you find a very little clique, you know, doing above normal as if they are superhumans. That is the kind of thing you get. Now, much of this is a function of governance. Now, we have now expanded the scope of tax collection and what have you. In spite of that, there are still warnings about Nigerians getting poorer. So you begin to wonder, really, where lies the challenge? Is it that these resources are not plowed into, you know, areas that will ordinarily, you know, turn around the economy for the better? Or it is because they are not properly managed? So these are all the challenges you are finding. And today, as it stands, you discover that, yes, today Nigeria has strategized, you know, expanded, you know, excuse me, the scope of tax collection. But then, have we stopped the trend of corruption? Because Transparency International is still saying that we are still terribly corrupt. So at the time you make so much money, and at the end of the day, the money does not go into, you know, productive ventures, rather it takes care of individual accounts and the rest of it, then you have not improved the life of the people. The same challenges you've had in the past are the things you're still going to experience. You're going to still have issues of, you know, all manner of things during elections because the people are hungry. You still have out of school situation because the people cannot afford it, and the people will still be dying because drugs are not in the hospitals and what have you. Electricity is equally a challenge, even for the individual who has what it takes to do some little business.
In all of this, because the IMF has been giving advice, has been giving technical advice and support to countries, but let's narrow it to Nigeria. This is not the first time we're hearing IMF is coming, giving us advice. You have to do this, not to be able to, not to get this bad as the case may be. But in all of those, there's always this suspicion. When IMF comes with, or World Bank, they come with some of these advice. But is it everything that is wrong with all the advice they give us?
No, certainly not. But again, it's not a question of suspicion. They are not doing it because they like you. The IMF is not advising you because they like you. It is what they will get from you. Because the more money you make, the more they get from you. That is the only reason why they'll be advising you to do all of that. But the other time, Christine Lagarde was in Nigeria, and she was talking about increase in VAT.
and the valuation of the naira.
I don't know who that was meant to benefit, whether it was the people or whether there should be more money for those who steal money to steal and not the rest. And at the end of the day, they now give loans to Nigeria, loans that they know will not be planned into the various projects for
after they have warned Nigeria to be wary of the amount of loans they get.
We really need to be very careful. But then the truth remains that in terms of the poverty issue, that one is obvious.
Okay.
We are all saying it.
Okay, let's look at one of the points IMF raised, that the CBN should, as a matter of urgency, stop injecting funds into the forex market to help the naira. Is that not
okay? So what do they expect?
Let the naira find its level.
Demand and supply should
let it compete.
Allowed to determine.
Market forces.
You see,
the
I don't know in those European countries and the rest whether there are equally these black market dollar dealers there and all the rest. Do they do this black market trading?
Obviously not.
So what are they talking about? This is an environment that is peculiar. The environment is peculiar because so many of these bureau de change companies that we talk about that the CBN is giving dollars, they don't even exist. And the interest rate varies. This one will be given at the rate of $1 to $1.
It was part of the challenge.
Exactly.
So those are the issues we should deal with, not a question of
IMF
injecting
said so.
money
IMF
now.
said so.
Yes, then again, they were equally talking about issue of tax reforms and all the rest. I hope it is not about that they are, 10% VAT they were talking about. Yeah.
Well, you are always suspicious of the IMF.
Yeah, because that is exactly what they are. We're not just suspicious.
But the stands are 5%.
Evidence over the years have proven it. The so-called, debt forgiveness, you think if it was their money, they will leave it for you? They know you were not really owing them that money. The one you owed them, you have paid them. So they were satisfied. Because they had, why would I give you money to do a project? And I will be interested in the project you are doing. The projects for which those loans were taken, were they executed? And every day you warn them about the increase in foreign debts and all the rest. And the same people are engineering you to come and collect loans. So what is the warning all about? But on this issue, my interest is about the common man. Because we are talking about poverty rate. We are talking about the standard of living, the quality of life. Ordinarily, the moment the Nigerian, gets those basic necessities of life, they really don't bother much about what those in government steal.
Well, how do you get the basic necessities right if you don't put good policies in place? And IMF pointed that out.
Really, it's a function of policies.
Why are you delaying in putting some policies in place from carrying out some reforms that would better the lives of your people? Do you throw away the baby with the bathwater?
Certainly not. Certainly not. But I don't think the emphasis is on those CBN, whatever board and the rest that will be confirmed. That's not the issue, really. The issue is about the way and manner we carry on with government, with governance. You see, because if the policies we make are properly, monitored through. And again, we have another challenge, which is that succession issue is a big challenge as well. Today, you have APC. The moment another party comes, even within the same APC, the moment another person comes on board, policies will change.
The somersault.
Are you getting it? So we don't follow through.
Yeah, the IMF mentioned the 2019 election, what impact it could have on the situation of things. Yeah. But looking at the election, this year is peculiar, or usually the election year where campaigns are going to be kicking off and all of that. Yeah. Now, from this standpoint, looking into the year and then projecting into next year, how bad do you think the situation is going to be when all energies are going to be channeled into campaigns, elections, and then the attention from infrastructure and buildings and constructions and all of that is going to be shifted?
Well, it's already happening. It's already happening. In fact, talks about 2019 started long ago. And the moment that happens, emphasis shifts, from governance to campaigns and the rest of it, it's already happening. Now, more monies will be released as a result of campaigns. And unfortunately, that is not the kind of money that will make the economy to grow. Because these are funds that are released for, all manner of strategies on how to win elections. And in some cases, they don't go into any productive venture. And at the end of the day, you will still find some finding their way out of the country and all the rest. So these are the kind of challenges you will find. But I expect that the safest measure for a campaign really is performance. So the moment a government in power does well, it would have secured at least 50% of its campaign, whatever.
But how do you measure that the government is doing well, or any government is doing well, and especially now that they're saying that Nigeria is out of recession, the economy is doing well, all that, because the price of crude oil has, risen at the international markets, meaning that it could be because of that, more funds for Nigeria. But if there is a plunge again, is Nigeria not at risk because it's still wholly dependent on oil?
Yes, and this quest for diversification is not something you can actually do in 1 year. We are talking about exploring other opportunities, solid minerals and all the rest. Even though some have been going on at very mundane level, these are things that take time. But this agri sector itself, we have made so much noise about it. I remember a time ago, Audu was saying that they were exporting yam. I think at the end of the day, there were even issues with that. Yeah, but was it because we had enough? Or is it just that we wanted to tell the world that we have this? You see, so, and you hear CBI talking about 20 million people under one
scheme.
Beautiful. And I keep wondering, where are these 20 million people who access all of this? Where are their farms? If you have those 20 million people having their different farms, how many people do we need to be in the farms to feed them in Nigeria? So you hear all manner of things that sometimes you find difficult to substantiate.
Now, in all of this, is it the issue of just sheer corruption or just incompetence?
Both of them. Both. You have cases of incompetence, you have cases of corruption. Because much of all, think about it, the way and manner, projects are funded. And the kind of, the ones you hear and the ones you see, there's always this, gap between them. So it's a question of, corruption. Then on the issue of competence, it's equally very critical. Because as we speak, there are a lot of these farmers who don't even know much about techniques of farming. And I doubt if we have all these essential services really going on the way they ought to be.
Really carrying out mechanized farm.
I guess we have to leave you here now. Dr. Dade Kere, Senior Lecturer, University of Lagos. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.